Agents, you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series. Open, Chicago with the lead. Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Under it, into the middle with the 15, to the 20, break free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 of the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5, touchdown Bears!
Time in 6 seasons, it's 1 goal a team. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, throw to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Go to the show's page as well. Like that page as well. And now you're following Shawn and Maya in the morning. Get it? Got it? Good. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot something. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Okay? Do us a favor. Type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button. All right? Subscribe button. Also ring the little bell. There's a little bell right next to it. And what that is the notification button. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. All righty? Perfect. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, and you didn't know we had our mobile app. What? Listen, if you didn't know we have a mobile app, you are out of control. Listen, wherever you stop what you're doing. Okay? Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. All right, listen, we have our own mobile app. So wherever you get your apps from, I don't care where it is, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky's, Macy's, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, wherever you get them from. Go there, type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. Not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching us on our Roku channel, now that's what I'm talking about, baby. And if you didn't know, you better ask somebody. We have our own Roku channel. Come on now. What are you doing? We have our own Roku channel. Where have you been? What you problem is, man? Come on now. We have our own Roku channel. So listen, do us a favor. Download it. Download Sports Zone Chicago's tile right to your Roku device. If you have a Roku device in the house, or all Roku devices that you have in the house, download Sports Zone Chicago's tile. Do us that favor. All right, put it right next to Max. All right, it's not HBO and Max anymore, just Max. Put it right next to Max. Put it next to Hulu, Prime Video, in the middle of Netflix, Paramount Plus, Stars. All right, Billions is back, baby, with Axe. Bobby Axelrod is back, baby. I like it. Just do us that solid. And you know what? Download it to all of the Roku devices that you have in the house. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Oh, man, listen. I don't know about you guys, but let me finish my little spiel. You can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, The Snapper, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, then follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Listen, we have an awesome show for you, but we need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app, leave a question or comment on the thread on that platform, and guess what? It'll come up here and we'll get it on the screen. We'll talk about it. We'll incorporate it, and that is what makes this the best morning show around. The morning Chicago sports talk show, and that's you guys. Let's see what we got. Yes, Brandon, download it to your TV, Papa. Let's do it. Let's see who we have in the text line already this morning. Man, it's jumping already. Cornelius Squalls first in the house, 8:30 this morning, baby. What up, Cornelius? Patty Lara. How are you? Yes. How's everyone at the extended weekend? That's crazy. Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. He's here. Patty's here. And that only means one thing or two things. Armando Emeterio Lara the fourth and Jeremiah are joining them. Dito, Jeremiah. Good morning. Good morning, young man. How we doing? Brandon Schutz in the house. Michonne Woes in the house. Hump Day. Oh, snap. Tomorrow's your birthday. Uh-oh. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Michonne. What up? Lavette Lee, she's in the house. Good morning, Mama. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Cornelia. Oh, we got some chats going. Cornelia saying what's up to Patty, Monodito, and Jeremiah. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. And my man Junior says that Pluto has a Godzilla channel. So my guy Junior is an amazing artist. Unbelievable. When I say unreal artist, can draw anything. His own creations, but he is one of the biggest Godzilla fans on the face of the earth. So we would always tease him because Junior's a ball buster. All right, he's a ball buster. So we'd bust his balls right back whenever he's like, Junior, where were you? How come you didn't come on? Nah, I stayed home and was drawing Godzilla. I didn't want to go out. I felt like drawing. I had a new Godzilla idea, so I was drawing it. And this is, trust me, all from it's all from love. He busted my balls tons of times about the pirate. He busted Caesar's balls about you're wasting the shrimp. He busted Paul's balls about retiring as a Panther. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, those are just unbelievably crazy stories. I wish I had the time to tell you and the backdrop for all those stories, but man, those are just phenomenal times. And so every chance we get to bust Junior's balls, we do, because he is a first-class ball buster. Anyway, Brandon, my fourth was good, man. It was good. It was a last-minute trip. I went to ended up going to Michigan, all right, for the day, for a few hours. It was relaxing. All right. I don't know if you could tell I got a little color. I was happy. I was in the water in the pool. The pool called Lake Michigan, that pool. I was in the water. And what was really cool about it is that there weren't very many people there. Or put it this way, there weren't as many people as I thought were going to be there. And probably because everybody had to go right back to work today. So you're talking like a holiday and then boom, right back to work. So there's a lot of people in Michigan who are Illinois natives, Chicagoland natives. And for them to come back, they probably just wanted to come back yesterday, be at the house. So there weren't as many people. It was a nice crowd at the beach, but it wasn't crazy. I went to Silver Lake or Silver Beach, excuse me. And I love it. I love going there. It's clean. No drama. They got food. You can go. They got pizza and some stuff. Nachos, fries, burgers. You can buy all that there. So if you don't bring anything, if you don't grill, you can go buy. And then in St. Joseph, there's a lot of stuff as well. I'll head back to the highway. Stopped at the Culver's. The Dairy Queen was also an option as well. No, the Dairy Queen was closed. The Culver's was open. That was packed. It was people heading back to wherever they were coming from. So it was good, man. I had a good 4th of July. Brandon, I hope yours was fun and enjoyable and hopefully relaxing as well. Hope you're able to spend it with loved ones and because time flies, man. Time really moves, and you know what? Next thing you know, it's we just had the 4th of July. Next thing you know, it's Labor Day. Well, after my birthday, of course, which is later this month, July 25th. Is that on? I think that's a Tuesday. Let me double check. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, my birthday is coming up, and it's going to be, it's interesting every time birthdays come up. Some people enjoy them. Some people loathe them. It shows that they're getting older. As I've gotten older, I've realized it's a blessing. Every birthday that comes around, every trip around the sun is a blessing. Okay, because I know quite a few people, and just like I'm sure you do as well, quite a few people that you grew up with, that you knew from back in the day as a kid, who are no longer with us for whatever reason. All right, so to live to 50 plus, it'll be 52 for me this year. It's crazy. It's a blessing. It really, really is, and I don't take it for granted at all. And I enjoy it. I live my life to the max. Try not to have any regrets. And it is, I wake up every day and I'm excited. I thank God for a lot of things and everything I have, and I think if you do that as well, you start thinking about all the things you have, all the insignificant things that you think are insignificant, and you start just being thankful for those things. You have a lot to be thankful for, even if your day is going wrong or you're having a bad moment, all right, or even a bad week or a month. Still, it's a lot better than most people. So be thankful for it. I am. I'll tell you what, I love the fact that the only reason I don't love this age is different shit hurts every day. Or various days I wake up and like, oh, my knee, oh, my back, oh, this, oh, that. But it happens. It happens. And but you know what? I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. Like I said, I've told people this before. I have to write a book. In the next 5 years, I have to write a book. Names will be changed to protect the innocent. But I've been blessed with a crazy, crazy, crazy fun life from my time here. Here and then St. Rita High School, Holy Cross, then Italy, and then New York, and then back here. Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. And then there goes our house phone. I know, yes, we still have a house phone here. I know who the hell has a house phone, but we have a house phone. Anyway, listen, we got a great show for you, man. At 10 o'clock, my man Eugene McIntosh from the Bigs is going to join us. We're going to talk a little NASCAR stuff. We're going to talk NASCAR and basketball. What the hell, Bobby? Yes, we got a nice little combo. I'm telling you. Listen, NASCAR was dope. And it was unfortunate that Mother Nature decided to act like a little bia. And it rained all day Sunday, and there were accidents, and they finally got it done. But still, it was such a cool event. And now some people were not happy about it. They want to look at the final numbers before they're supposed to come the next 2 years. So I guess it was a 3-year deal that NASCAR signed. So they're going to be here next year, but aldermen and other people want to look. They thought it wasn't as big a success as other people did. Dude, when you do something for the first time, there's going to be places that you could improve. Always. There's always anything done the first time is never done right. All right, you're able to do stuff because once it happens, you see where you fell, maybe not fell short, but where you didn't think of, oh, this could have happened, or we could have done this to prevent this, or we could have added this to make the experience better. So it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. And for those people who are down there, it was cool, man. My guy Eugene McIntosh was down there for the bigs covering them. Like, I couldn't get down there to cover it. It was my mom's birthday. Remember I was telling you guys last week, and then, but man, Gino had some of his clips. Like, he was literally right on the other side of the barrier, and there are people coming around that corner, 70, 80, 90, maybe 100. I don't know about 100, but I think I wrote 100 on my Facebook post, but I don't think they're going 100, but they're going like 70 or 80 miles an hour around that corner, like kind of right at him. They're three-wheeling it. The driver's side front wheel was off because they were making a left turn. That driver's side front wheel was up off the ground a little bit, man. And luckily, those barricades were those cement barricades that you see are 10,000 pounds each. So if any of those slipped, hopefully he would have dropped and been protected by that 10,000 pound barricade. So he's going to join us at 10 o'clock, and we're going to talk NASCAR. How fun was it for him? Would he go again if he wasn't covering it? Would he go check it out? And then we're going to talk a little Bulls. The Bulls had made some noise the last couple of days since we last spoke, and so we'd like to talk to them. Or talk about them, because this team seems to be running it back. But they made some key moves. Now, do these moves move the needle in a massive way? We're going to talk to Gino at 10 o'clock and find out. Talk and find out. We'll see get his thoughts on it. But, I think the Bulls are in just hell. Basketball hell. So, but that's it. 10 o'clock. Gino, my man Eugene McIntosh from the Bigs. So, man, we got to talk a little baseball. We got to talk a little basketball. We're going to talk a little hockey. We're going to talk a little football. So we got a lot to talk about, baby. So as our old Uncle Hawk Harrelson used to say, sit back, relax, and strap it down. We got a lot to get going, baby. So let's get to it. So, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The first top of the morning topic. Let's see what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Which way to go? Which way to go? Which way to go? The Cubs. The Cubs with a big win yesterday. Beat the Milwaukee Brewers 7-6. The Professor was on the bumps. No decision yesterday. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, a walk, 5 punch-outs. All-Star, Chicago All-Star, Dansby Swanson. He was 2 for 6 with a homer, his 10th of the season, driving in his 36th run of the year. Cody Bellinger continues to make more and more money for himself in the future as he went 2 for 4, driving in his 25th RBI of the season, Amaya was 1 for 3 with his 3rd double of the year, driving in 2 ribbies, his 8th and 9th of the year. And Nico Horner was 2 for 6, driving in his 43rd run of the year. I don't want to say the superstar or the star of the game, but one of the stars of the game was Ian Happ. All right, Ian Happ had a phenomenal play yesterday. It ended the game. He threw a runner out at home plate. And Ian Happ, if you remember, if I'm not mistaken, Ian Happ was a highly touted prospect. I believe he hit a home run. Was that Ian Happ? He was, when he first came up, his rookie year. He was. He was the heir apparent. Remember when? Because we never really, or should let me say, the Cubs never really found a replacement for Dexter Fowler. All right, after the 2016 season, what was as I go, you go was the thing, and they never really found. So after the 2016 season, if you remember, if you're a Cub fan, you'll remember this. They thought he was gone. He was actually, I believe, he was under. They agreed to terms with another team, and at the last minute, the Cubs swooped in and got him. And so they're in Arizona at spring training, and Dexter Fowler walks out in the field, and was like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And he had resigned. How huge a signing that was, as we saw as the year played out. All right, he leads off the game with a homer in Game 7 in Cleveland. How crazy was that? It's just nuts if you're a Cub fan. And when he left, they never really had that spark plug. They were hoping Ian Happ would be that spark plug. In 2018, if you remember, this is what I was thinking. First pitch of the season. The Cubs had the first game of the year. First pitch of the season, Ian Happ goes yard. So people are thinking, oh, man, we got Dexter Fowler's replacement, blah, 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 blah. They were excited. It never really panned out. Okay. But yesterday, big game for Ian with the throw him out after the force out. Or the throw him out after his catch. It was, man, it was a beautiful thing. Cubs winning yesterday up in Brewtown, 7-6, and it was in the 11th. All right, it ended the game. Game, set, match. So now, today, here you go. Or tonight, the Brewers host the Cubs again. 7:10 first pitch, Justin Steele, another All-Star. Cubs All-Star Justin Steele. He's on the bump. He's 9-2 with a 2.43 ERA. He's going against Adrian Hauser, who's 3-2 with a 3.88 ERA. This is a team that's really, in the last few years, has become a thorn in their side. All right, they're a team directly above the Cubs. However, they're 1 game out. The Cubs are 7. And they need to continue to beat the teams that are ahead of them. And the 2 teams ahead of them are Milwaukee by 6 games and Cincinnati by 7. So we'll see how this plays out tonight up in Brewtown. Well, the next top of the morning topic. My good guys. The White Sox fall to the Blue Jays 4-3 yesterday. Lucas Giolito, he got a no decision. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 punch-outs. Quality start. Another quality start for Lucas Giolito in what could be his final few weeks as a White Sox. The big blow for the White Sox yesterday was they were trailing 2-0. They're trailing 2-0 after 4. In the 6th, Lubob steps to the plate, goes yard, 3-run blast, puts them up 3-2, and then they walk off. Toronto, I should say, gets a 2-run homer late by Vlad Jr. And listening to Ozzie yesterday, I didn't see it. He said it wasn't a bad pitch, but it's tough when he definitely is his father's child. And if you're old enough to remember Vladimir Guerrero with the Expos, with the Angels, he is probably the best. I want to say he's a Hall of Famer, but he's probably the best bad ball hitter in the history of Major League Baseball. When I mean best bad ball hitter, there are so many times that I remember him taking it literally off his shoestrings. Like the ball's 3 inches off the dirt, 4 inches off the dirt. He goes down and golfs it off for a homer. There are balls that are outside the zone. He'll step almost outside across the plate, punch it the other way out of play, or out of the park. There have been eye-high fastballs that he'll take the deep center. I mean, just bad pitches that you would never have anyone or want anyone to swing. This dude was hitting homers off of. And his son, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., did the same yesterday. As I was listening to Ozzy, and he was just saying that, you know what, wasn't a bad pitch, but you just can't give that to a guy who comes from that lineage, who can hit good pitcher pitches, but just just bad pitches. Like no one should swing at him. But he's taking them yard. So the White Sox continue to fluster us. They continue to do what they're doing. They're still 7 back. It's still only 7 back. But they got to start winning now. We've been saying that forever, and I don't think it's going to happen. But that's for my other diatribe. So tonight, the White Sox, they're still at home. They host the Toronto Blue Jays again tonight for 7:10 first pitch. That's going to be on NBC Sports Chicago. Lance Lynn, he's at the bump for the good guys. He's 5-8 with a 6.47 ERA going against Jose Berrios. He's 8-6 with a 3.74 ERA. As I said, NBC Sports Chicago on the TV side and AM 1000 AM on the radio side. The Cubs, I forgot to mention, pardon me. The Cubs will be on the Marquee Network tonight, as well as 670 AM on the radio side. All right. So listen, let's take a quick break. All right. On the other side of the break, we're going to finish up with a few more top of the morning topics. All righty. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Hey, Connor, this is Dansby Swanson with the Cubs. Just wanted to congratulate you on an amazing achievement, your family, and just everybody involved. We're pumped to have you here in Chicago. Good luck. Can't wait to watch you, and go Cubs. Go Blackhawks.
Hey, Connor. It's Cole Kmet from the Chicago Bears. Can't wait to see you in Chicago and get you out to Soldier Field. These Chicago fans are so passionate, and it's awesome playing in front of them. Go Blackhawks and bear down.
Hendricks ready. And on the ground, Morrell tested again. Fields throws on the move. Offline, and the tag applied by Mancini. Line drive, base hit center field. And Seiya Suzuki ends that 0 for 21 stretch, and he's going to turn it into 3 on his way, and he's in there. How about it?
Hopefully get this game tied. A swing and a pop fly. Shallow left. Happ coming in. Let's see if the runner tags. The catch by Happ. The runner's going to try to score. The throw to the plate. He is going to be out at the plate.
What a job by the Gold Glover. Ian Happ throws out not 1 but 2 in extra innings.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Ian Happ. Yes, thank you for correcting me or for giving me in the info, Junior. He did hit a home run in his first major league game. And this came in the 7th. I was just looking it up. He came in the 7th at a dinger. It was 2-run homer in the 7th inning. It was a 5-3 loss to St. Louis back then in when was this? 2017. So Ian Happ, Gold Glover, had to help the Cubs with a big win yesterday. But we are in the top of the morning topic, and the next top of the morning topic, I don't know how I feel about these. And luckily, we're going to talk to my man Eugene McIntosh at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. The Bulls. The Bulls signed a couple of people. All right. They signed Javon Carter, point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks, 3 years, $20 million. And they also signed Torrey Craig, forward from played with the Phoenix Suns last year. Couldn't find the terms of his agreement. These guys shoot a little more. They shoot threes. Okay. And I guess that's what the reason they're brought here, because of our poor 3-point shooting. So I get it. However, I don't know how excited I am about these two. I don't know how excited I am. I mean, Carter is a point guard. He's from Proviso East. All right. He's born in Oak Park. He went to Proviso East. So he's a local kid. Okay. A local guy. Shouldn't call him a kid. All right. He's a local guy. Am I the only one who's just not overly ecstatic about this? Am I being a negative Nancy about this? Because to me, it just seems like it's like, That's what I feel like. That's exactly how I feel about these two moves. Can anyone shed any more light on the situation on these two guys? Am I missing something? Yeah, you're right. They are kids to us. What? What are you talking about? Cornelius, I like that the Bulls are running it back, and the players they picked up should make them better. Plus, Vooch had a talk with Billy Donovan before he resigned. Okay. So my question is, what were the topics of that conversation? Feed me down low. What did Vooch say? Once you hit a certain spot, boom. Oh, okay. Yeah, he did call it. I was in the middle of a trade earlier before the show. I got out just before, and then just anyway. So what's the topic of that conversation? How are they going to use him? Like I said, I see it. I see him like a poor man's Nikola Jokic. Okay, Joker. I see it, but he's got to do better. We need better shooting. We need, and maybe this is the thing that was at him. But Javon Carter is like, he's only like 6'1". Like, give me. I mean, Torrey Craig's a little taller. I think he's 6'7", lengthy. I think he's got almost a 7-foot wingspan. So he's one of those guys who could guard multiple positions. He shoots a few threes. Okay, so I can see that. Okay, we got more athletic, but still, to me, I'm still not. You know what I mean? Not. Not overly excited about it. I don't know. It could just be me, but I want to hear it. He said he wanted to be used differently. Also, remember that Zach will be starting the season healthy. Okay, Zach will be starting the season healthy. Well, my question for Zach is not just the health part, okay? Not just the health part, but I'm also looking at the basketball IQ part. That's the part that I'm concerned about. Okay, you could be healthy, but if you're healthy, you're going to be still making bad decisions. Oh, wow. You're still going to be making bad decisions during the game. You're going to be making bad decisions. You're going to be turning the ball over, poor shot selection. Yeah. So, great that you're healthy, but does that mean we have poor decisions and bad play at the end of the games earlier in the season? Is that what that means? Or does the point guard, Javon Carter, does he help alleviate that? Does he run the show? Does he help? Well, that's still a work in progress. Bingo. But my man, hey, Zach LaVine's 20. He's been in the league 8-10 years now. It's taken you 8 to 10 years to get a basketball IQ or to understand that you can't play off emotion and get mad. Once you get mad, you want to do something to score or to something to react rather quickly. Like, it's taken him that long and he still doesn't have it. We got to wait in his 8th, 9th, 10th year. Hell, it didn't even take Lowry that long to become an all-star. Or maybe it did. Okay, I guess I'll listen to you. I guess I'll trust you, Cornelius. I'll trust you a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. But it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. And so we're going to talk to Dino, my man, in about 20 minutes. Let's see. The next top of the morning topic, the Bears. By Bears, I mean Justin Fields. Justin Fields is out there working at a local high school. Him and some of his teammates. See Justin Fields in the foreground or to the left. Over his left shoulder, you have Darnell Mooney, who's shirtless, who looks like he's found the weight room, much to my satisfaction. And then my man, who I'm wearing his shirt today, DJ Moore, in the red hat. And then to the right, Cole Kmet. They're working out at Maine South High School. Yeah, I don't know who the guy in the middle was, so I just put a little thing over. I don't know who you are. So you got DJ Moore, Justin Fields, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, my big issue is where's Chase Claypool? That's my issue. That's my issue. Okay? I listen, if you're in Paris, cool. In the off season, cool. Do what you want to do. Cool. But when you got your teammates out there working out, building chemistry, getting comfortable, I figured you'd want to be there too. And sometimes you got to put shit aside and say, hey, listen, this is more important. It's a contract year for you, Chase. This is a contract year for you. Last day of your deal, you're looking for a bigger deal. And you have to understand, people are still pissy about the fact that we traded a second-round pick, which ended up essentially being a first-round pick. It was the number 32 pick overall. Because remember, Miami didn't have a first-round pick because of the tampering with Tom Brady. So they lost the first-round pick, okay? So it was the first pick of the second round, which technically was the 32nd pick, which if you look at this 32 first-rounders, technically could have been a first-round pick. So we gave up another pick for you, Chase Claypool. Now, trust me, I have no problem with you going to get your money, okay? Whatever outfits they want to they put you in and walk down a runway and take photos of you in Paris and London and Milan, and cool. I'm okay with it. In the offseason, I am more than okay with it. But as the season, as training camp starts to draw closer, and you have all the rest of your the key teammates there working out, and you're not there, now I'm starting to worry about you. I'm starting to give you the side eye and give you the rock people's eyebrow. I'm like, come on, homie. Come on, homie. Like, all that shit should be done up until OTAs. You know, Darnell Mooney, you saw Darnell Mooney starting to have a good year last year before he got hurt. Now he's not learning anymore. And neither are you. But guess what? He's gaining chemistry. And he had chemistry with Justin Fields before. So now can you imagine how good it's going to be now? And there was one guy, and I don't know who this is. Okay? I don't know who, if you look in the lower right or right in front of Cole Kmet, who's stretching. I don't know who that is because I can't see his face because his back's to me. I wonder if that's Scott. I wonder if that's Tyler Scott. Because Tyler Scott's the dude who's going to help all of us forget about Chase Claypool or Darnell Mooney, whoever doesn't get re-signed, because they're both in contract years. So they may sign one, and the way it looks now, and that could change. Believe me, that could change with production. Because first of all, we don't know. I don't know what you're doing out there as far as training. You could be training. You could be running routes. You could be lifting weights. You could be doing all that stuff. You could find a quarterback out there. It's not Justin Fields, but you could still find a quarterback out there. So I'm not going to write you off completely, but I'm going to say this. It's time for you to show out this year. It's time for Chase Claypool to show why he was such a high draft pick. You have the physical tools. He has everything necessary. 4'5", 4'4", 6'3", 6'4", with a 36, 38-inch vertical. Come on now. And you're not asking to be a number one receiver. You're not asking to beat a double team. We got DJ Moore for that. So you're going to be man up all year long? Okay. We'll see. Tyler Scott he's him and Bayless Jones. I told you earlier, my guy's there. They're saying, and well, not Gino was there, but Herb was there. Bayless Jones ain't dropping a damn thing. A damn thing. So we got some speed. So Chase, again, far be it from me to tell you not to go get your money in the offseason. No, trust me, I get it, Papa. I get it. But you better hope that the chemistry with Justin Fields is there. Because I didn't see your ass in those pictures. And I doubt this is Tyler Scott, because otherwise he'd be here in this picture. You would think all the Bears players. I don't know if that's the head coach of Maine South or what. I don't know who that was. So I just blurted him out. I'm like, yeah, I don't know this dude. But this is not, to me, I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. Looks like Robbie Gould. As Gould, not GH. So, man, you got to love this. So they're all here in Chicago working out, or almost all of them. But the guys who want to get serious, Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet had his best year last year. Why? Because if you remember, not only did he go to tight end U for 2-3 years in a row, all right, but he was working out with Justin last year, just like Darnell Mooney was. And Darnell Mooney was about to have a really good season before he got hurt. He was having a good season until he got hurt. And this is, mind you, after an offense that is difficult to learn, to master, to get efficient in. They look good. What about this year? What about this year when they don't have any learning curve anymore? When they're not learning this, we're not thinking about, oh, what do I do here? What do I do here? Now they've gone through an offseason, a preseason, a regular season. Now they're in an offseason again. So when this season comes this year, there's going to be a lot more continuity. So Cole Kmet could be even better, despite the signing of Tanyan. Darnell Mooney could be better, despite and maybe because of the signing of DJ Moore. And then that would make DJ Moore even better, because if Darnell Mooney starts catching touchdown passes, Cole Kmet starts catching touchdown passes, we keep running the ball down their throat, defense has got to do something. Do you take that safety that you're kind of shading over toward DJ Moore and bring him up to stop the run game? Please do. Please do. Because now you got DJ Moore one-on-one. And that is not a matchup that many defenses will win. Not a positive matchup for a defense. If you single cover him, it's bad enough if you're in a zone. Because in watching this film, he's able to find slots and holes in the zone and settle down, the soft spots and settle down. Now, him and Justin got to get on the same page and say, okay, here's where we see it. I'm going to settle. When I see you, I'm anticipating you settle there, so that ball's coming quick. If they get that down, and now you got to go to man, and if you got people double teaming or a safety keeping an eye on him, you get Tyler Scott, you get Darnell Mooney, you get Chase Claypool. Those dudes who run 4.4 and better, behind you, all you got to do is take your eye as a DB. I didn't play DB. A lot of my good friends did. And they will tell you, you lose focus once for 1 second, literally 1 second. You lose focus. And the receiver's by you. He's gone. And that is the ability of DJ Moore. DJ Moore can cause safeties to lose focus. I need to look over here just in case. Oh, snap. Here comes somebody else in my zone because that I missed because I'm looking over at DJ Moore. And I'm telling you, this is how it works. It's going to be fun. I'm fired up about it, man. I'm fired up. I can't even tell you. Can't even put into words how fired up I am about this. We're going to see. We're going to see. Training camp starts in a few weeks, about 3 weeks. And we're going to see. We're going to see what Chase Claypool does. We're going to see the type of chemistry that Chase Claypool has with Justin. Because listen, Justin's about winning. Justin is about winning. And if you're about winning, you're out there in that high school practice field with him. If you're out there about one thing, and that's winning a Super Bowl, you're out there on that practice field with him. All right? I'm trying not to go anti-Chase Claypool right now because I get it. You're trying to make money in the offseason, but there's got to come a point in time you have to draw a line. There's got to be a deadline. After this date, it's football 100%. Because the reason you got the ability to go model in Europe for, I don't remember who it was, Calvin Klein or whoever it was that you're modeling for, the only reason you got that gig was because of football. So you cannot bite the hand that feeds you. You can't ignore football. Because listen, the better you are at football, the more endorsements you get over the long term. The better you are at football or the better you are at your main sport, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, whatever it is, the more endorsements you'll get long term. So you better realize who your moneymaker is and be like, I need to get my ass down to Concord back to Chicago and get to working out with my guys. Because trust me, that will be evident. And you know how it's going to be evident? Justin's not going to throw to him. Justin's not going to throw to him because he doesn't trust him yet. You had a poor season last year, then you're injured, or half season with us, then you're injured. And he's going to go to the guys he feels comfortable with. It is human nature. Guys you've worked out with are the guys that you feel most comfortable with. If you're a quarterback, those are the guys you're throwing the ball to. If you're a running back like me, those are the guys you want blocking in front of you. I want to run behind these guys. I want to run behind these guys. It's all about reps, all about familiarity. Reps equals familiarity. That's what reps equals now. Familiarity. I need to know how you're going to go get that ball. I need to know where you like, if it's a crossing route, if it's a deep route, if it's a go route. Where do you want that ball? All right, you like it over the shoulder? No problem. You like it more on a rope? No problem. Let's get to work so I can get it down right so you have no reason to drop it. How many drop passes we have last year? Darnell Mooney double catching at the goal line. We get a win against the Washington Commanders. Equinemius St. Brown dropping a fourth down, which would have been a first down. Right after the Chase Claypool no penalty call when he got pulled down. Ball goes right through EQ's hands. Would have been a first down, kept the drive alive. Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with that, Junior. Your sole purpose shouldn't be football, but your main purpose should be football. If you change that to main purpose, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Main purpose, not your sole purpose. I feel it too, Cornelius. I feel Fields and DJ Moore are going to eat. They are going to wreak havoc on people. You know why? Because Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, Robert Tonyan, the running game, those guys are going to have a great, great year. This offense is going to be so much more exciting and potent. And you go in the zone, I just told you, DJ Moore is great at finding soft spots in the zone. And as long as him and Justin Fields are on the same wavelength, he's going to come into a window, and as he passes that defender whose back is to him, who's in front of him, that ball's coming because Justin say him and Justin are on the same page. Justin's like, I'm going to give you the ball quick as soon as I can so you can do what you do. Then they're going to go to man, which I said, and now they're going to go to man. Now who you have, you can't double team everybody. You can only really double team one. And now Darnell Mooney, now Robert Tonyan, now Cole Kmet, now Tyler Scott, now Roshan Johnson, now Deontay Foreman out of the backfield. All these guys, it works hand in hand. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my mans and them, my guy Eugene McIntosh is going to join us. We're going to talk. I want to talk a little NASCAR. He was down there at Grant Park, literally 6 to 8 feet away from these cars that are coming around the corner, 70 to 90 miles an hour. That was great stuff. And we're going to talk a little Bulls. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. My man Eugene McIntosh from the Bigs coming up next right here on Shawn and Maya in the Morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. Fake one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Everybody in a work zone is someone somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Order up.
Thank you.
when I want to give up, I try to focus on getting to the next minute, then the next hour, and the next day.
It might not seem like it right now, but there are people out there like me who want to listen and support you for the long haul.
And I found someone to talk to, someone who listened.
You are not alone.
Hey, this is Dr. J, and I listen to Shawn and Maya in the morning.
What's up, Connor? It's DeMar DeRozan, the Chicago Bulls. Welcome to the city. Can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to come to a couple games, check you out, watch you play. Congratulations, and welcome to the city again.
Good day, Connor. Congrats on being the #1 overall pick in the NHL draft, and welcome to Chicago. It's a city I love and a city I love to be a part of. These fans are fantastic, and can't wait to get you out here and hopefully get you out here for some batting practice with the White Sox. Congrats on being a Blackhawk, man.
What's up, Connor? It's DeMar DeRozan, the Chicago Bulls. Welcome to the city. Can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to come to a couple games, check you out, watch you play. Congratulations, and welcome to the city again.
Good day, Connor.
About to get underway with the first ever street course race in NASCAR. Green flag is in the air. Cole Custer jumps out to a big lead as he goes down the front stretch into turn 1. Cole Custer hard on the gas. John Hunter Nemechek on the outside as well.
Cole Custer has really used that right side for the restart zone in his advantage. And once again, but here's our first real contest we've seen for the second position.
And the red flag now has been displayed. So the drivers will climb out. They can cover the cars, just can't do any kind of adjustments or work on the cars. There is the winner of the Xfinity Series race from the streets of Chicago. All smiles for Cole Custer, and has been determined.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC. That was the race. It was, man, was that fun? That was wow. That was really, really, really cool. Junior, I agree. I agree with you. It's awesome. Everyone's welcoming Bedard. You got to understand. I mean, game recognizes game. People understand what this guy is. People understand what this guy can do. People understand how talented this guy is. He's one of those guys that it is just similar to when Austin Matthews came out. It's similar to when Conor McGregor came out. This is that next dude. And we got him. All right, we got him. And I can't tell you how fired up I am about it. I mean, hell, look at this. I mean, this is from the Michigan store. The Michigan Avenue store. Bedard. I mean, if the fact of them selling over $5 million, let me get that off. Let me look you in the eye. $5 million. Let me take it back. $2 million in 90 minutes. They sold $2 million of season tickets in 90 minutes after the draft started. So literally maybe about an hour after the announcement. That's what this dude brings. That's what this dude brings. That's why the Bulls are saying welcome Connor Bedard. That's why the Bears players are saying welcome Connor Bedard. That's why the Cubs, the Sox, the Sky, that's why they're saying this, because this is a generational player. Just like Patrick Kane was when we got him years ago. Well, my first guest is my man, and I'm excited to talk to him. He was out and about. He was down there, smelling those exhaust fumes. I was getting hit by cars coming around that corner at like 180. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating for effect. But like 70, 80 miles an hour coming around that corner, boy. All he had was a chain link fence and a 10,000-pound blockade in between him and them cars, man. It was crazy. Man, he is one of the bigs, one of the founders of the bigs. You can find him on Twitter at Stay Humble. Guys, let's welcome my man, Eugene McIntosh. Gino, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
Shawn, what's good, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Coming back up in Michigan yesterday for the 4th, just chilling. Last minute, I was out there like 3 o'clock. I left. I'm like, damn. But relaxing. I'm good. I'm excited. And I get to talk to you, man, because, man, you were, Charlie. You're like literally 6 feet away from muscle machines, baby. How was that? How did that go for you this weekend, man? Was that your first time ever around those type of cars and events, and not just around it? Damn, dude, that close.
Yeah, that was my first time. Okay, I'll put it to you like this, and this will basically sum it up. I had no idea what NASCAR stood for. So I had a lot of researching to do in very little time. And I felt like I came away with a decent amount of knowledge about what goes on in those races. So for people that don't know what NASCAR stands for, maybe I'm the only idiot out here, but it's the National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing. So, man, it was exhilarating to say the least, man. Being that close to those cars, man, like the post that you guys and what equates going viral? Can you put that in the layman's like? Does it have to have
probably
a certain
certain views, certain views.
Well, it may not have gone viral, but the I put it out on Twitter and I put it on Facebook, and it's still getting comments right now, and people are still liking it. And so, man, I couldn't believe. Like I said, it was literally the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. Those guys hitting those corners like that, and I didn't know
three-wheeling it too, boy. Three-wheeling it. The driver front side tire was coming out.
So our photographer and videographer was there, and we witnessed like 2 or 3 crashes, like literally coming directly at us. We were on that corner where the tires were, and we saw Kyle Busch when he started. I'm not sure where he started. Don't let me lie about that, but he ended up in last after he crashed, and they try to back out. He was so far into those tires that security had to come, the truck had to come and literally pull him out of there. And for him to end up in 5th place, that was some serious driving that he did, man. So, like I said, it was a lot going on in that little bit of time. But I think it was a great turnout for the city. NASCAR definitely, they have a 3-year deal, so they'll be back for the next 2 years. And I think now that they got that one under their belt, they know what to look for going forward and how to make it an even better event. But I feel like all of the fans, even though the weather was terrible, I think the fans got what they want. Outside of the concerts being canceled, I think everything went as well as it probably could go. I think the only thing that they'll probably have to find a better way to execute is leaving, because I knew a couple of people that were there and they said it took them like an hour and a half to get out of the park because there was really only one way in and one way out. And but other than that, it was a beautiful event for the city, and I'm looking forward to the next one, man.
And that's what I was saying earlier in my top of the morning segment. I'm like, you know what? I said, whenever you do something for the first time, anything for the first time, you don't really know what you're doing. You know what I mean? You got to figure it out. And then as the second time and third time, you're like, okay, I could do this a little better. This makes it more efficient. This makes it a lot easier for the fans, for this, for that. So, there'll be some changes next year, which will make it a lot more fan friendly, a much better experience for people. But the thing is, like you said, get under your belt, get it done. All right. So now, first of all, it was beautiful. They obviously spoken to all the race car drivers and everything, because everyone they were just talking about like Chicago was like the best city ever created, which it is. But just a little too overhyped. Like, okay, I can tell when you're blowing smoke up my ass and when you're being sincere. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is like the best city in the world. Like, all right, dude, I get it. I bring it down a couple notches. It's not that ain't real. I get it. You're telling the truth, but it's not coming from a real place. But it was really cool how everyone was hyping up Chicago. They had the footage of the city with the track in the middle and just driving around. It was just a great job. and it just made our city look so awesome. I got a question. Did anyone get a catalytic converter stolen overnight or anything?
I'm pretty sure they did, man. You know, Chicago is on Chicago at every possible moment. Did you hear about the guys that actually got onto the track? And so I actually know who that was. I'm gonna keep them nameless, but I definitely know who that was, and I'm not surprised that those guys actually got on the track. But Chicago's going Chicago, man, at all times. So, but I'm just glad they kept it to a minimum and the event went well. And I can never look at Columbus Drive and Monroe and Adams the same. Like it was really crazy, but a fantastic time, man.
Dude, it was funny because I was down there Wednesday. A good friend of mine from college had come in. She was driving through back to Massachusetts, picking up her daughter from California, and so I met her down for lunch. So I was like, well, I'm taking Michigan Avenue because I know that's where everything, I knew the traffic was going to be there, but I'm like, I need to see this. Man, that was so dope. That was so dope. I had the sunroof open. I was just taking pictures out the sunroof, man. And it was like, this is so cool, man. It was, it was awesome. It looked cool.
And that's what I was going to say, especially coming off of the turn on Columbus, the left turn onto Monroe, and then it was a quick straightaway. Man, them guys had to be doing 175. It may have been, I'm not sure, probably maybe, I would say maybe a little less than a quarter of a mile straight away. And they were going so fast. It was unbelievable. And then hitting that right turn on the Michigan and taking Michigan towards the fountain, and then being able, seeing the buildings in the background.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure those guys were ecstatic about the view. And then, give the city a little bit of credit, making those streets drivable, because a few of the guys were complaining because those cars, they have to be as low to the ground as possible so they can get that maximum speed. So when you going that same turn I was talking about, going from Columbus onto Monroe, and there's that hill, so you're actually
over the trains.
Yeah, man. So give the city some credit for getting those streets done the best they could. And with that terrible weather, people were worried about if they were going to get the race off. And I'm like, if they have to postpone the race until Monday, they're going to get that race off. But give the crews credit. They got the streets, they got those puddles off the streets and made it as conducive as conducive of an environment as it could possibly be for those guys to do the best job they could. So great turnout overall, man.
Yeah, I was excited, man. And guys, we're joined by Eugene McIntosh from the Bigs, talking a little NASCAR right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. So you were able, they gave you a view and everything. You check out the tires and like the pit. Like, how was that? Like, dude, talk to me about that experience where you see those tires. Like, those tires are not light, bro. I mean, you see these mugs get this done in 10 seconds. Actually, no, that's long. That's long. It's 7 to 9 seconds is really good to get everything, get the gas in and the grab it. All right, go. Boom, boom. Dude, how crazy and how big were those tires? How did you get a chance to touch one of those or lift one of those tires? Talk about that.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time, and everybody, I feel like by now everybody's gotten their NASCAR coverage off. We did a couple reels and stuff, but I was kind of gonna wait until it died down, and then I was gonna put out a couple reels. But we did it all, man. We took a lot of time just talking to guys on pit row and learning about the things that they do back there. You know how it goes. The drivers get all the credit, but nobody knows what it takes to get those guys to perform at their highest ability. So, just watching the guys clean the tires and clean the rust off the tires, and watching the entire team, just putting everything together. Then watching those big old gas tanks. I think it was sponsored by, I think Sunoco was the gas sponsor this time around. But watching these tanks, it's like those tires were huge. It was unbelievable, man. So I'm gonna put out a video that shows basically, everything that those guys did, everything that they went through, and just the amount of people that are involved in getting those drivers to perform like that. The drivers are literally the last step. Like they're not even really involved in any of that. They're somewhere in a hotel room looking at a simulator or, prepping themselves mentally to do this. But it's those guys, and it's just like the grounds crew at the ballparks and
Right.
all
Yeah.
of those people behind the scenes that make this thing go. So I was amazed, Shawn. It was just, it puts a lot of things in perspective, man. So you always want to, if you see my videos, I always highlight, the guys behind the scenes that kind of get those things going. So pit row was amazing, man. Just watching the cars and then like a simulator. I watched it when Bubba had a block party at DuSable Museum, and they had a
Right.
demo where they showed a car pull into the pit and how quick they, get those tires all fueled
On and
up,
off. Yep.
those tires back on. Like you said, 7 to 9 seconds. It's like a blur. So those guys are professionals as well, and I had a great time, man. I never thought because I've never watched NASCAR on TV. Maybe if I'm scrolling, I'll watch for a second. I knew Kyle Busch. I knew a couple of the other guys in the race, but I would highly recommend it to anybody out there that was skeptical and was like, oh man, forget NASCAR. That's a white that's a white sport or whatever. It's like Bubba Wallace didn't fare too well in that event, but I feel like if kids were exposed to NASCAR, that was one of my questions to those guys. It's like, well, if a kid came up to you right now after watching this race and said, man, that was so dope, how can I get involved? Where do I start? I think a lot of kids, it's cool.
Yeah.
When you watch stuff on TV, you get the smallest glimpse of what it is. But when
Right.
you're there and you actually get to see these guys perform and you get to see how much goes into it and what it takes to be a professional, I think a lot of kids, especially inner city kids, if their minds were opened up to it, I definitely think they would be interested, man.
Yeah, and I think what NASCAR wanted, and I think it was a mission accomplished, is twofold. One, you open yourself up to a whole new genre because a lot of black folks don't watch it. All right, they just don't. All right, unless you're from the South and you grew up around it. You know what I mean? And most people, especially up here, we got baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, track. You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of we don't care about NASCAR. All right, they open the doors to a whole new demographic, black and Hispanic people. And man, there were so many people down there, and they were smart. But also, you got the younger kids, so people who took their kids, and like you said, they're like, "Oh man, Dad, that's cool. Mom, that's cool." And they're interested. So they did a great job of, I think, of growing their sport. And hats off to them. Here's what I was the other day when I was going down there. That's right, going out to the half moon right there. Here's Michigan Avenue. When I'm like, this is dope.
Yeah, look at that, man.
That is dope. You got this in the background. We all can tell. If you're from Chicago, you can tell this is Michigan Avenue. Yeah, man. That was it was one heck of a time, man. That's awesome, man. And it was my mom's birthday this weekend. I was like, when I found out, that's why I couldn't make it. And but next year we'll definitely be down there because Jason was talking to those people, so we'll be down there next year, and I'm looking forward. That'll be my first year, being that close to something like that, dude. Because that'll be that. I'm gonna be like you were, just like excited to see. Let me lift the tire.
Absolutely crazy, man. That's all I can say.
Did they have any cool stuff like were you okay, or was it maybe like a liability where you could just screw on the nuts and the bolts for the tire or anything like that? They have any interactive things for you guys?
I'm not sure. Not for media. And there was a lot going on in Grant Park, but I think a lot of it was more informational stuff. They had a Ferris wheel and they had a lot of vendors and stuff out there, but I think most of those tents and most of everything that was going on around there was more informational because, like you said, NASCAR travels. There were I could tell a lot of those people that I saw probably travel wherever NASCAR goes. So there were a lot of like NASCAR faithfuls out there. But then again, there were a lot of people that I saw that I know for a fact have no clue what was going on. They just knew that it was in Chicago and they wanted to be a part of it. So I think that's why a lot of those tents and a lot of the stuff that was out there was more informational than anything. So, and also I think another thing, a lot of people were lost. Like I saw a lot of people asking, and they were volunteers. So a lot of the people that were like directed, they didn't really know what was going on. So I think that's another thing that NASCAR probably go back to the lab and have some meetings about. But again, like I said, man, overall, I definitely probably get at a 9 out of 10. They probably did the best they could, and the first thing the executive director and the CEO said was, great big shout out to Chicago, and they gave Brandon Johnson, the new mayor, they gave him a lot of credit as well because he was skeptical. This deal was done by Lori Lightfoot, and Brandon Johnson, once he got in office, he wasn't really, he didn't know what to expect like a lot of us. But I feel like being able to sit down in those meetings with those guys and get to know a little more about NASCAR and a little more about their mission and bringing it here, like you said, it's like, well, how do we make this thing more inclusive for people that may not know enough about it, or even we'll say it like the inner city. So I think them bringing Bubba to Do Sable Museum,
Right.
giving away 1,000 tickets and having those booths over there for kids, having Lupe Fiasco come out and perform, I think that was cool. But like I said, like next year, I think they'll one up it, and it'll be a lot more inclusive, and I think a lot more people will be inclined to participate.
Yeah, I'll be one of them. I'll be one of them. And I think the experience is just going to get better, and it happens over time. As you, like I said, you just make improvements, and it's going to be really, really something I look forward to next year, right around that time. Also, I'm glad you're on because I want to talk about some of these signings, man. I was like, okay, so you're shaking your head because my first question, I said at the top of the morning, I'm like, am I the only one who I'm like,
No.
Like I'm not getting the meat. For me, the needle's not moving. All right, now we're like serious playoff contenders.
No.
Talk to me. Talk to me, Gino.
Shawn. My new hashtag, and I'm gonna use this until anytime somebody tweets at me about the Bulls, or I comment about the Bulls, until I see a major splash, my hashtag for the Bulls is gonna be committed to being mid. And if you guys don't know what mid means, it's middle. Mid means as average as you can possibly be. And that's what these guys are committed to. Now, no disrespect to Javon Carter, because that's a good signing. Javon Carter can shoot the ball. He plays very good defense. He'll pick the other guard up 94 feet. He's tough. He's a Maywood kid, and I'm pretty sure he wanted to come back and play in his backyard. So I think that was a good signing. Now, when you look at the rest of the league, if Javon Carter is our starting point guard, then we'll move to Torrey Craig. And again, Torrey Craig, pretty good player. Big guy, can play the 3, the 4. If they talk about positionless basketball, that's cool. But I don't think he's guarding a real 5, and there aren't a lot of 5s in the league. And this is another conversation we're gonna have in a second. But Torrey Craig, good 3-point shooter, shot 37, 38, 39% in Phoenix. But that's when you have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and all of those guys that space the floor so much that when they drive and kick, it's a wide open 3. So again, good signings, needle moving, game changing, no. So until the Bulls make a huge splash, and whether that's trading DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine, I don't know what it's gonna be. But until they make a major splash, I'm not impressed at all. And I think Arturas Karnisovas, he doesn't talk much. I know in the presser after the draft at the Advocate Center, he said, fans. One of the reporters asked him what would his message to the fans be. He said, they'll have to just wait until it's free agent time and see what we do then. Well, that's cool. You can tell us anything, but I think Arturas Karnisovas needs to be on the hot seat. Like I told you before, Shawn, this ain't Denver. Yeah, his track record, cool. It was cool in Denver. We saw what the Nuggets did this season, and that was years of Arturas Karnisovas' work. And Mark Eversley as well. Like, I feel like this is GarPax reincarnated. And the good thing, the only thing better that GarPax they were available, and Pac stepped up to the mic and he faced the music when it was time. So I'm not impressed with the Bulls at all. And all of these homers, all of these fans, take your hats off, take your homer hats off, and use common sense, man. These guys are no better than an eighth seed right now, and it's time for them to make a huge splash, man. And I don't know what it's gonna be, but if they run this same thing back, it's the definition of insanity, man.
It really is, and that's what I was saying. They added a couple of pieces. Talk to me about the Vooch signing. When they signed him, I'm like, oh, so now for real, now we're running it back then, because you got Zach, you got DeMar, now you're signing Vooch, because he was a free agent, he could have signed with anybody, and he's back here. So, we have no point where Alonzo Ball, they just filed for the exemption, so hopefully they'll get that. They should be able to get that, but with Lonzo Ball, they're a different team. Without him, they are a completely different team. And one of the things that I was asking people, like Bulls people that came on, Lonzo Ball gave us three things. He could run the show, okay? He played good defense and gave us 3-point shooting. All right. It's very difficult to find a point guard who can do all three of those things. All right. Which two would you think would be the most important? Running the show, defense, threes. Because if there was out there, we'd get him, or somebody else would go get a guy who can do those things and pay him a lot of money.
Right.
What two would you settle for?
The two I would settle for is running the team and shooting the three ball. The defense, ain't too many point guards locking up in this league anymore. Like the way the defense is more team defense, if anything. Mm-hmm. And I mean, obviously the defense starts at the top, but a lot of those guys, they use schemes. And if you do have a rim protector, you use the rim protector. But back to what you were saying about Vooch. Arturas Karnisovas said Vooch has played at an elite level since he's been in Chicago. That's a lie. Vooch has been good. Vooch has been very good at times. I feel like his best ability is his availability. Yes, he did play all 82 games this year. I mean, hey, man, I'm from the old school. You should play all 82 games.
You got a lot of money coming your way to
that's not in this day. That's commendable for me. Yeah, that's cool. Vooch is not an elite level player. Yes, he averages a double-double. Somebody asked me the other day, would I rather have him or DeAndre Ayton? I said, well, man, DeAndre Ayton averaged 18 and 11 basically as a fourth option. Give me DeAndre Ayton, a guy that I know with some player development, because it's still a pretty young guy. He left after his freshman year. He ain't been in the league for too long. With some development, that could be a serious rim protector. But I feel like out in Phoenix, where the game is, and you got Devin Booker, and now you got KD and Chris Paul, who kind of runs the show. And give me DeAndre Ayton. But back to Vooch, it's just, Vooch was a top 10 rated defender in centers. Shawn, name me the best 5 centers in the NBA.
Embiid. I don't think you call Giannis a center. I'd say I put him as a 4.
Make Giannis a center. Let's make him a center.
Embiid, Giannis. And I know I'm missing the Joker. There you go. Embiid, Giannis, Joker.
Give me Sabonis.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, because since he got put out west, yeah, you forget about him. But hell yeah.
Now give me 2 more. So I'll stop you there. So of course Vooch is a top 10 rated center defense. You get what I'm saying, man?
Yeah. So yeah, I get you.
I'm not mad at them re-signing Vooch, man. I think a lot of his effectiveness and his efficiency was taken away because we didn't have a point guard to kind of delegate, the roles out there. And with DeMar and Zach kind of being the primary ball handlers and the ball getting lost in translation, and on the pick and roll, Vooch rolls to the basket. They always switch. Nobody's fighting through the screen. Vooch sets the screen. He rolls. Now he's on the block with a 6'6" guy on him, and they can't deliver a bounce pass or a post pass to get him an easy bucket. You know,
Mouse
like
in
you
the
said, he
house.
starts the game, first half, he'll have 16 points and he'll end with 19 or 21.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, with a guy like Javon Carter, hopefully that's what they were looking at. Okay, this guy's a solid point guard with solid point guard skills. Yes, he's not the offensive threat that, you know, the Kyries and the Dames and the Stephs and the De'Aaron Fox and those guys are, but he is a steady guard who we know he's tough, he's hard-nosed, and he'll stick his nose in there if he has to. So I feel like that's something that could work in Vooch's favor. But again, man, like playing at an elite level, that was a big time lie from Arturas Karnisovas. And I know he was, you know, sticking up for his guy and sticking up for his signing. And as well, he can't show how bad of a hand he's played so far with that deal, you know, letting Wendell and all of those guys go, not getting the first round pick back this year. So he has to say those things. And they have to run this back, because if you think about it, who's taking Zach LaVine's max contract? Like, Zach LaVine is a damn good player, but you know, I'm pretty sure that offer was out there, and people are like,
thanks, but no thanks.
We'll pass. Thanks. So I don't even really want to talk bull, Shawn. I know it's part of our job, man, but those guys they disgust me. Sorry, excuse my French, but they disgust me.
Nothing wrong with it. Hey, you know, we keep it real here, man. So it's, you know, you keep it a buck, man, and that's all I want is just keep it a buck. And that's exactly what I said. If someone said, someone in the chat said, well, LaVine's going to start the season healthy. I'm like, but what does that mean? Does that mean he's going to have poor IQ longer in the season? Like, he's going to have turnovers late in the game. He's going to have bad shot selection, you know, longer in the season. Like, shit, start a month in, so we don't have to deal with that for the first month. Right. You know, because it's frustrating. Because I agree with you. Like, he's not a max player. It's unfortunate. I mean, put it this way: for him, I'm happy. You know what, my man getting $2 million, great. I don't think you deserve it. You know, but you know, with that comes a lot of responsibility, a lot of pressure, and I don't think he's able to handle that pressure, as a lot of these guys aren't. Right? It's not about how high you can jump. It's not about. It's not how many you get. It's when you get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get them, you could only average 18 points. But if you average 12 points in the fourth quarter and 8 points in the last 3 minutes or 4 minutes, that's a whole nother category. Like, oh, damn. It's when you get them. And Zach just hasn't been able, is not that dude who's able to get them when we need him. Yeah. And that's the thing. He makes poor decisions, bad ball handling, turnovers. It's like, come on, man. Like, for $215 million, hell, me and you split that, and we'll go make the same turnovers, dog.
Yeah, like you said, it ain't our money, man. So, you know, I'm never counting nobody's pockets. I'm happy Zach got his deal. Hopefully he comes back this season. You know, he worked on a couple things. Like you said, he can average 25, 5, and 5 in his sleep, man. That's just how talented of a guy he is. But like you said, it comes down to those key plays in the game. Can you make a play for your team? Can you make the big bucket when it's needed? And you know, who's the leader of the team? That was another thing that I questioned all last year. It's a reason why I feel like they brought Pat Beverly in. Maybe not to be the leader, but to be a guy that's going to try to hold those other guys accountable. And I think it worked. You know, I think it worked I think it hit its ceiling. You know, at the end of the day, talent in the NBA, you know, all of those guys have worked extremely hard their entire lives to get to that point. And I feel like talent always, you know, it shows when it comes down to it. So I don't know, man. DeMar's getting they're not young guys either. DeMar's 33, Vooch would be 32. You know, this league is forever changing. You know, now you got, like you said, now you got the Sacramento Kings. You got Tyrese Halliburton just signed a $50 million 5-year, $260 and things like that. So, you know, the game is changing and it's getting quicker, and you know, they're relying more on 3-point shooting. So I'm gonna let Arturas Karnisovas talk me down, man. I'm gonna wait till free agency is over with, and I'm gonna see, you know, when it's training camp time. I think we just got an email this morning about Bulls practice. I think they're gonna practice a few times before they start the summer league schedule. And we'll see, man. But Javon Carter and Torrey Craig, if we were a championship level team, then I would be ecstatic with those signings, because I do feel that those are two guys that can contribute right away to a team that's in the fold of making a run, but the Bulls ain't that.
Last question before we let you go, Gino. I appreciate your time as always, my man. What about Billy Donovan? What do you think? I mean, is he in? Is it going to teach an old dog new tricks, or is it just too impossible to teach an old dog new tricks? I mean, there's a reason. Like, I had always wanted Vooch to go, to start the offense through Vooch. Remember, I would say start through him, and have him get a couple early baskets like Cartwright used to do. Cartwright and Longley, he's a good passer. So if they collapse on him, he can hit a three, find an open three. Do you think Billy's? And we don't run. We don't run the God bless. I mean, let's run. Let's get out and run, baby. That was one of the biggest things with Lonzo Ball. He got it. That thing was gone. Rebound, outlet to Lonzo. Lonzo up to somebody running, streaking down up the court. And Lonzo a lot of times didn't even go past half court. He's got it, turned it, tossed it, laid it in. All right, I'm back here for defense. Is that going to change? Do you think Billy Donovan is going to try and get a little more free flowing and run a little more? I mean, I know we're older, but man, Zach ain't old. Io ain't old. Kobe White ain't old. All right, we got a lot of young guys on this team. Do you think they're going to change? We're going to try and get a little more up tempo with this team because, man, that's the NBA.
Yeah, but when you look at a team, we'll just use the Nuggets for example. Like, and we'll compare Vooch to Jokic. Like, obviously, the Joker is the Joker, but I feel like they're similar in being big guys that can play all around the floor.
Yeah, I call him the poor man's Joker. Very poor man's Joker.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at the continuity, look at the way that the Nuggets move offensively when the Joker gets that ball in the mid post or when he gets that ball on the low post. He's looking to pass the ball
first. Yeah,
he can get a bucket whenever. Like, that's just how talented he is. But you got KCP who's standing out there that can knock it down, or he'll cut to the basket for the dunk. You got Michael Porter Jr., same thing. He can shoot it with the best of them, or he's 6'10" and can cut to the basket and get an easy bucket. You got Aaron Gordon.
Oh, Aaron Gordon too. Yeah, another 6'9".
I haven't even gotten to your star, Jamal Murray, who can make plays for himself. He averaged 10 assists damn near in the finals, hitting triple doubles. So when you look at the continuity of the team, you have to look at everybody, man. And I just don't think the Bulls, they're not fit for that type of offense. And then when you talk about running, it's DeMar DeRozan. He slows the game up because that's how he needs to play.
Mm-hmm.
So back to what we said from the beginning, some things have to change. And I feel like that's trading DeMar DeRozan. Now, what you get back for him in return, it's not our call, it's not our money, but I think that's where it starts. So when we talk about Billy, I think is Billy the guy for the job? I don't know. I think Billy's a pretty good coach. I think he's a player's coach, but I think at times in that locker room last year, it was divided. Some of those guys were on Billy's side and some of them weren't. And obviously we saw what he did with Zach, we knew that Zach wasn't really feeling that. And I feel like that was part of the start of the divide of the team. And it's like, well, this is a new school, a new era. And like I told you, when I talked to Doc Rivers, I asked him, well, man, what's the biggest difference in when you came up versus these guys that you coach now? And he said, man, when I came up, you used to have to honor and respect the coach. He said, now you have to honor and respect the player.
Wow.
So it's a players league, man. And I feel like Billy, he's a nice guy. I feel like behind the scenes, he may, he may speak up a little, but I don't think he's one of those coaches that are really holding those guys accountable. So I don't see much changing, man. I don't see much changing offensively. I don't see much changing strategy-wise. Yeah, man, I think these guys are 6th, 7th, 8th seed at the best, and if they do
what about P. Will? What do you think? Is it about time for him? Like, come on, man! It's your 4th year in the league, dog. Like, you gotta stop deferring to DeMar. You gotta show that you got game too. You know what I'm saying? Like, with them there, when they're on the bench or injured, he goes ham. Like, okay, cool. Let's bring that when the big dogs are out and make yourself an option. Like, come on, dog. It's show your man, show you got game too. Like, and that's what bothers me. Like, you and I know we go to a new court, we go somewhere. It didn't matter who, if it was our first time, we want to let people know we got game. It's not about I'll let you go. No, this is your court. I'll let you go. This is your team. I'll let you score. No, dude. I got game 2. And Patrick Williams has to step up. He got to let his balls drop and be a freaking man, because that bothers the hell out of me, as talented as that son of a biscuit is, man.
I agree.
I just got fired up, dude.
Yeah, you did, man. But I felt that in my soul, Shawn, and I agree with you 100%. But back again, let's take it back to the origin. It's DeMar DeRozan. DeMar has to go, and I love DeMar. I think he's a great guy. He came in, did his thing, 2 All-Star appearances. Nothing bad to say about DeMar, but he has to go in order for P. Will to actually be able to get out there and spread his wings, man. I think that's his spot. Last year, I said, man, if he did anything less than 15 and 7 and 40% from the 3 and 50 from the field, I wasn't going to be impressed. But then as I'm watching the game, I'm watching him, like you said, I'm watching him defer to those older guys, because that's just the nature of who he is. Now, I feel like if you take him and throw him in the fire and there is no one to defer to, obviously if Zach is still there, that's a different position. But DeMar was literally playing Patrick Williams' position and getting all of the touches and the looks there. So now with DeMar gone and P. Will thrown into the fire, now he has no choice but to show and prove. And I think, he puts in a lot of work in the offseason. And I think he's very capable of it.
Yeah, me too.
Until he's thrown in the fire, until he's given, they take the handcuffs off of him and tell him, go for yours. And what I'm big on, player development. Where is it? I think it has a lot to do with that. Who's developing these guys, man? So
you know anything about their new guy? Because they just hired a new
Peter Patton, shooting coach, man. He's Catholic League, man. I played against. He was my year. He was Loyola's star player, football, baseball, and basketball player. Peter Patton should definitely be an upgrade in there. I think he can provide a little more than just being a shooting coach. I feel like there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we won't get to see that I feel like could be effective in some of those guys' games when they get out there on the court. So we'll get some we'll as the season progresses and when we get to training camp, and once we get back inside the building and we get to talk to these guys, we'll be giving some more information. But I'm with you. If there was one guy that I wanted to see the most of what he did in the offseason coming back and implementing it into this upcoming season, it would definitely be Patrick Williams.
Kobe White going to go ham again this year? Is he going to continue to get better? Because I like the improvement or development of him this past season. If he can continue, maybe not even as big an improvement, but if he continues on that upward trend, I'll be happy as a pig and slop with that joker.
But if I'm Kobe White and I see them signing Javon Carter, what am I thinking? Because he says he's a starting point guard. And with the Javon Carter signing, no, you're not the starting point guard, bro. So I always thought Kobe White would be better off elsewhere. He would be better off I feel like in the West Coast, on the West, where he can get up and down and kind of show more ball handling.
That seems, yeah.
So, but Kobe, I like Kobe. He's a cool guy. Again, definitely got his game up last season. Got his ball handling up. He's always been a pretty good shooter. Was able to make plays for some of the guys. So he would be another guy that I'm interested to see where his head is. Like, do you take that Javon Carter signing and it's like, oh man, hell no. Like, that's what y'all think of me, So, and then don't forget, Io still, Io hasn't accepted that qualifying offer yet. So, it's a lot going on with that team, man. And AK and Mark Eversley, they got some work to do, brother. Before I'm convinced in the least bit.
Man, Gino, great stuff, man. I appreciate it as always. Do me a favor, of course, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Man, find us Twitter at It's the Bigs, ITSTHEBIGS. Find me at Stay Humble, STAYHUMBLE. Hit the website www.thebigs.us or just Google the Bigs, man. Hit Instagram at It's the Bigs. We all over the place, man. Just trying to keep this thing moving, keep the culture in good hands, man, and give the people something that they don't hear or see on a daily basis. So, us, US Sports Zone, the guys at the Barbers Chair Network, and all of the other independent guys that are, competing with these conglomerates, man. We got to keep looking out for each other, keep helping, and being available for each other, man. I'd much rather talk to you than some of those other guys, man, because they got all they need over there. All they got to do is show up and turn the levels up, man. We do a lot behind the scenes trying to keep our movements going, man. So it's always good to come on here and chop it up with you, man. And I'm, like I said, if I'm available, it's a done deal, man. So much love to you. Tell my girl Maya I said what's up.
Bet.
Y'all keep hanging, man.
Will do, man. We'll talk soon, Papas. Thanks again.
Love, brother.
Guys, that was Eugene McIntosh from the Bigs. Man, we could talk we could talk 3, 4, 5 hours sports. We didn't even get to White Sox because I know Gino's he's a baseball dude at heart. He played college baseball, and man, we didn't even get to the White Sox, the Cubs. Whoo, Charlie. This town needs an enema. To borrow words of the poet laureate, the Joker, speaking of the Joker, Jack Nicholson, this town needs an enema. Let's take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, man, we're gonna wrap it up. All right, we're gonna put a nice little bow on this show, and yeah. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become a resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created JQuickReports.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know this city better than anyone. So my investigative stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My future stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media, who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information and my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Urban. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out jcoynereports.com and follow me on Twitter at jcoyne.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
What did they tell you that the boxing would do for you guys?
Oh.
And then what are your physical development goals overall?
Yeah, I think it's really good conditioning thing, boxing, when you're doing it. That's kind of what I've done it for in the past couple times. And then, I think that's kind of mostly. And that's also a lot of fun. You're kind of just, I don't know what we're doing. I don't think we're fighting each other, but, it'll be fun to see everyone do that. And then, for me physically, get faster, stronger, and I think kind of build power and everything. So obviously a big couple months here before the training camp.
Is there a weight goal or?
No, I'm pretty happy with my weight. I'm not going to stress about gaining or anything. So just want to feel good, and whatever weight that is, and I'll try to be at that.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was number 1 overall pick, our guy Connor Bedard, and then put him through boxing workouts is what he's saying, and I like it. The conditioning is great. It's one of the best sports to get in. Like you don't find any out of shape boxers. If you do, you're not a boxer for very long. Trust me. I was fortunate. If you remember, I think I mentioned this story when I lived in New York. I was a member of Gold's Gym, and it was they had boxing classes. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me take, I had a little bit of boxing, from what I thought my years, but my Iran Barkley was the coach. So if any of you who of a certain age, or you may remember the name Iran Barkley, and man, you talk about getting me back into shape. Cornelius, you asked, he's 17 years old. Connor's 17. I think he might be 18 by the time the season starts, but he's 17 years old. But Iran Barkley, man, it was great working out with him, dude. It was, let me tell you something. That was such a fun few months working out with him. Wow. The best, and I probably should get back to this. One of the things he would do is he would just tell me, all right, when we were done with the workout, the class was over. He'd say, all right, the class time is over, but you're not done. He's like, go jump rope for 3 rounds. And the first answer, what? He goes, yeah, go jump rope for 3 rounds. It's like, what does that mean? He's like, well, how many minutes in a round? I'm like, 3. He goes, how many minutes between rounds? Like 1. Boom, there you go. So I had to jump rope. If you've never jumped rope, 3 minutes is a long time. And then you got a minute rest. So he sat down, then again, 3 minutes, then sit down for a minute. Then that 3rd minute, I was up to 5 rounds at one point. I was up to 5 rounds. And man, oh man, oh man. So the conditioning, that was just that. That wasn't even road work. It wasn't even the speed bag. It wasn't even the heavy bag. That was just jumping rope. So imagine the type of shape that these guys, the various workouts you could get with, as they're having them go through boxing workouts. Good stuff. Somebody mentioned something earlier, and you know what? We'll talk about it. Well, we got a few minutes left. Junior, you mentioned it, and I thought it was crazy. ESPN laid off tons and tons, a lot of big names. I often wonder why. And they say cuts. All right, okay, whatever. I get it. But like, why are you, why are they're not making enough money? They're not, like, who, I don't know. Like, you got all you have the networks, you have the different shows, you have the sponsorship, and apparently you're drawing, you're not drawing enough revenue. I mean, it's crazy. And there's some big names. There's some big names. I mean, Max Kellerman. All right, Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams. All right, Susie Colbert. So now Joel Namath can't be drunk and trying to hit on it until he wants to kiss her anymore. Jeff Van Gundy. It's the list. Todd McShay. Right about him. David Pollock, Georgia linebacker, college game day analyst. See Jason Fitz. It was crazy. It was nuts. So where are some of these guys going to end up? That's the question. All right, Fox. I would assume many of them are going to head over to Fox. but probably going to go to some local, outlets. Maybe want to back to their team, whoever they played for professionally or collegiately, and get back on there. Who knows? All right, but yeah, it was huge, man. It was huge. Susie Colbert, loved her. She'd been ESPN for 27 years. 27 years. Jaden Rolls, I almost forgot him. He's another one. I wonder how much. I think it would have been easier to let people like him go. He had a situation with Molly Kiram. Jeff Van Gundy was very critical of the NBA, and so anyone who was not towing the company line, it was probably very easy to do away with. Oh man, but listen, 3 hours is come and gone, man. I want to thank my guest Eugene McIntosh from the Bigs for coming on with me today. Great stuff, man. Talking NASCAR. He was down there covering NASCAR, the first NASCAR race in the on the streets of Chicago. Beautiful Saturday anyway. Sunday was crazy. But great stuff. And he was saying how, he was just in awe of, the speed, the tires, the if it's something you've never done or seen before, yeah, and it's such a big production. To shut down the city of Chicago, yeah, that's a big production. So I want to thank him. And then he was able to talk Bulls with us. So that was pretty dope as well. And he's one of the guys that I really love talking sports with because he's a former collegiate athlete. And we look at sports differently. So I love, and the fact that he could talk a whole bunch of different sports is what's really, really awesome. So, hey, Brandon, thank you, Papa. I appreciate it. We'll see you on Friday. But yeah, so great stuff. Big shout out to my guy, Eugene McIntosh, as also. Cornelius says, great show as usual. Tell Gino lighten up on the Bulls. No, man. Cornelius, I'm right there with him, man. It's time. You bullshitted us long enough, man. And, you're running it back with what? And the key thing is DeMar. DeMar slows this team down. And you see the way Denver plays. Whoo, Charlie, they move. Well, listen, I want to thank my guy, Steve Weekly, for getting all my clips together. I want to thank my executive producer, Elliot Baez, my social media guy, Clarence Council III, my co-host in absentia, Maya Kai. All of us were able to put together a wonderful show. So for Steve-O, for Elliot, for Clarence, and for Maya, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. We'll see you on Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. to 11 Central Time. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be nice the weather the next couple of days. So get out there and enjoy it. Get out there and enjoy it. 80, 89 today. Damn. All right. 77, 78, 78, 85 on Sunday. Okay, nice weather. So enjoy it. Spend it with your loved ones. Have a great time. Guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. And stay tuned. Okay, at 12:15 today, Second City Sports, because they were off Monday for the holiday. Second City Sports will be joining you at 12:15 today. All right, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, folks. Sports owners, I love you. I appreciate the love and support. I'm out.